at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. We're actually going to check in with meteorologist Howie Gordon for a look at what's going outside. And Howie, when I came in, I saw it was starting to rain. So what's the rest of this week shaping up like?
Well, what's been happening, Adam, is low-level moisture's been moving in from the Gulf, and then we got moisture and a boundary headed our way out of the northwest. Now, we're seeing scattered showers, most locations on the dry side, but hey, we're right in the midst of it all. In Victoria, we're getting a few scattered showers. We're seeing some rain. This could pick up into tomorrow as the boundary gets closer, and then into Monday night into Tuesday when the boundary moves through the area. We can see showers, stronger winds, and maybe even strong and severe weather, which we're going to continue to talk about here over the course of the show in the next 30 minutes. There's a wider view, but yeah, we're getting the scattered showers right here in Victoria. Temperature-wise, not affecting us yet. Still on the very, very warm side. Temperatures right around 80 on the coast. You move inland, mid to upper 70s. Overnight, dropping down to 74 degrees. Winds on that 20 mile per hour gust range. Could see some scattered showers, but we're going to see more rain more than likely as that boundary comes through. We're going to talk more about it coming up. Adam?
All right, thanks, Howie. Governor Abbott making his second Victoria campaign stop this year on Thursday, October 27th. The event will start at 11:45 a.m. at the Pump House Riverside Restaurant, 1201 West Staten Avenue. Election day is fast approaching. One of the races you'll find on your ballot is the U.S. Representative for District 27. We have 25 News Now reporter Adarius McCormick live in our studio with more. Adarius?
That's right, Adam. So voters here in the Crossroads will see the race for the U.S. Congress Representative for District 27, which represents 14 different counties in Texas. It will be between the incumbent Michael Cloud, whose website lists his top priorities as agriculture, government reform, and immigration. His opponent, Macluvio Perez, says that his campaign focuses on kitchen table issues that impact working families across the district, from creating good paying jobs that can support a family and health care that covers everyone. And remember, early voting in Victoria County starts Monday, that's tomorrow. The Dr. Patty Dotson Health Center, 2805 North Navarro Classroom A, will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. for early voting. Early voting ends Friday, November 4th. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail is Friday, October 28th. Adam, back to you.
All righty. Thank you, Adarius. And the race to the midterms is heating up with just 16 days to go into Election Day. And an ABC News poll is giving Republicans a boost. 36% of those surveyed said they trust Republicans to get inflation under control. Only 21% favor the Democrats. There are several key races that could sway control of Congress. One of those Senate races is in Nevada.
Tonight, with early voting underway in Nevada, all eyes on the race that could decide which party controls the Senate.
Let's just get out that vote. Yes. Let's do it. Come on, Nevada.
Today's the day we take back Nevada, right?
Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto up against Republican Adam Laxalt, the state's former attorney general.
We simply cannot afford one more week of the Joe Biden, Catherine Cortez Masto economy.
How are Democrats doing on the economy?
I think they're trying their best, but I don't know that that's necessarily enough.
Our ABC News Ipsos poll shows Republicans retain the advantage over Democrats on key issues like the economy and inflation. Why should voters stick with Democrats on this issue?
Well, I can tell you, when I was Attorney General, we absolutely had a downturn in the economy because of subprime mortgage. And I took on the big banks and fought them.
Cortez Masto turning to abortion rights, a defining issue for several voters we spoke to, like Lucy Mendoza, a grandmother of 8.
I believe women's rights is so important. It's on stake because if that's lost, can you imagine the other things that are going to be lost also?
Republicans only need to net 1 seat to gain majority in the Senate and 5 to flip the House. Democrats are fighting to hold both, saying they believe they are gaining ground.
We feel very confident. I've been in over 20 states since Congress adjourned in the last month or so, and I see very clearly that the ownership of the ground is with us.
1 person is dead and 7 more are injured following a shooting in a West Phoenix neighborhood today. There are not many details at this time, but initial reports said that multiple people had been injured and roads were closed in the area. Police confirmed a total of 8 people were shot. 1 person died of their injuries, at the hospital, and one victim, a teenager, was hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation is ongoing. Cases of RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, are on the rise across the nation. At one high school in Northern Virginia, nearly half of the student population stayed home sick on Friday, reporting flu-like symptoms, and all of the school's athletic events were canceled through the weekend. Doctors say the recent surge is taking a toll on the nation's healthcare system, with the majority of pediatric cases being RSV, a common respiratory infection in young children. But what's uncommon is the massive number of cases and how early in the season it's hitting. Doctors say that RSV symptoms may present like the common cold, and parents should watch out for lethargy, hard breathing, flaring of nostrils, and skin sucked in around the collarbones and ribs. They also warn that cases are likely to continue spreading throughout the winter. Residents of the touristic town of Puerto Vallarta cleaned up rubble and debris from the streets and the beach after Hurricane Roslyn passed through in the early hours of today. Roslyn hit land as a powerful Cat 3 hurricane near Santa Cruz in northern Nayarit, the National Hurricane Center. However, Roslyn was quickly downgraded to a tropical storm with maximum sustained winds that decreased to near 70 miles per hour with stronger gusts. The busy International Puerto Vallarta Airport resumed all operations. However, 2 people died from destruction caused by Storm Roslyn near Mexico's Pacific coast. Roslyn was forecast to become a tropical depression and dissipate overnight or early Monday. Grab your cell phone, scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the free Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Learn all about our ongoing contests right there on the app. You can also submit news tips and photos. Stay with us. Coming up, 2 pilots killed in the ongoing war in Ukraine.
Another boundary headed our way, going to knock temperatures down and bring maybe even some strong storms to the area. We'll talk all about it.
It's a parent's worst nightmare. My son Diego was murdered. The county released the gunman on bond. He violated it 37 times, then shot another person. Why did the county even let my son's murderer out of jail? Beto O'Rourke favors easy bail. Just release criminals back on the streets. That's the same policy that let my son's killer run free. If Beto O'Rourke is elected governor, there'll be more violence and more victims.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way.
Choose in-stock or custom order select Ford vehicles and lock in $3,900 for $60, plus $500 cash, plus complimentary maintenance. See your best in Texas Ford dealer.
I am a realtor.
I'm an attorney.
I'm a full-time dad of 11. I'm a teacher.
I am a CASA volunteer.
And a CASA board member.
And I'm a CASA volunteer. And I'm a CASA volunteer.
You can become a CASA volunteer.
If you're looking for a way to truly help children in need, become a CASA volunteer. You will be a voice making a real difference at a critical turning point in their life, because every child deserves a chance, and that chance is you. Volunteer today at goldencrescentcasa.org.
Every child has a chance. It's you!
Hi, I'm Chief Fox with the Victoria Fire Department. As temperatures rise this summer and plummet this winter, not to mention hurricane season, residents may find themselves plugging into generators to deal with the unexpected power outage. Always use a portable generator outside, at least 20 feet away from your house. Make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector in your home before using a generator. Use a single outdoor rated extension cord to power one appliance at a time. Before operating a generator, make sure you're familiar with the manufacturer and safety guidelines. Follow these tips and you'll be ready to use your generator safely.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscasts when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank, with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
Overseas now to the Russian invasion. A top Ukrainian general is speaking out, saying in an interview that, quote, "We're winning, but it's a war for survival." in Russia. Another military jet that's crashed. These images circulating online, the plane going down in their residential area. 2 pilots killed. Officials say no one on the ground was hurt.
Tonight, Ukraine liberating more villages in the south, edging closer to the strategically vital city of Kherson. As the only Russian capital captured by Russians, retaking it would deal Putin another humiliating battlefield defeat. Ukrainian Colonel General Alexander Syrsky behind the victories in Kyiv and Kharkiv, saying morale is high and momentum is on their side in an exclusive interview with our Ian Panel.
Are you winning this war?
Of course we are winning, and it's important that we are winning mentally. We know what we are fighting for, but still, this war is very hard.
And the Colonel General with a clear message as Russian nuclear rhetoric escalates.
How worried are you? How worried should all of us be about Putin's nuclear threats?
Basically, you've answered your question in your first phrase. Yes, we are worried, and as we should be.
The warning comes as Russian state media accuses Ukraine of preparing to explode a dirty bomb or tactical nuclear weapon on its own territory with the aim of framing Russia. President Zelensky tonight saying if Russia calls and says that Ukraine is preparing something, it means one thing: Russia has already prepared all this. Meanwhile, Russian-controlled leaders in Kherson telling residents to evacuate immediately. And as Putin's troops fall back in Kherson, Russia trying to divert manpower and resources from the south by amassing several thousand soldiers to the north in Belarus. These guys will be the first to see Russian tanks roll in case of an attack from the north. This soldier telling me after Russia's horrific atrocities committed during its initial invasion, including Bucha, he's out for vengeance. And tonight, the National Security Council responding to those dirty bomb threats, calling them transparently false allegations, saying the world would see through any attempt to use this as a pretext for escalation. Britt Clennett, ABC News, Kyiv.
Scientists worried there may be a surge in COVID cases this winter as new variants spread across Europe and Asia.
For several weeks, experts have noticed a peak in COVID cases both in Europe and Asia, the majority pointing to variants XBB and BQ1. Scientists in the U.S. believe that's our warning sign.
XBB has been spreading really rapidly in Singapore, for example, where it's overtaken BA5, and they're both of high concern because they're highly transmissible.
The CDC is already attributing 5.7% of cases in the U.S. to the BQ1 variant and 47 sequences to XBB, according to data from an international research organization that tracks these variants. But what makes them different from other strains? Gladstone Institute's Nadia Rohn explains.
They've mutated their surface protein in a way so that the antibodies elicited by either prior infection or by vaccination, that they don't work as well, essentially, against them. And so that's why they're so highly transmissible.
Now, what's their impact locally? According to the CDC, 5.2% of cases in California are BQ1. And in our wastewater here in the Bay Area, Stanford researchers found both.
We will almost definitely have a winter surge. The question is, how bad will it be?
UCSF's infectious diseases specialist Dr. Monica Gandhi believes we will see more cases in the U.S., but she's hopeful.
So I would look to the UK. The Ice Age just put out some data that we saw cases go up about 4 weeks ago, come down, not very high of cases, severe disease, hospitalizations remained flat.
What's your projection? How will the next COVID-19 wave look like here?
I think that we're going to see increased cases, meaning mild infections. Right now, we're at a COVID lull. Right now, we're getting more influenza and respiratory syncytial virus. Then COVID will take on the role of causing mild infections. But I do not anticipate that our hospitalizations will go up.
That story leading us to our viewer poll this evening. Are you worried about a winter surge in COVID cases? Yes or no? Let's take a look at these results. Looks like 38% of you say yes, you are, and 62% say no. Thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Strain and Trey Mining will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero so we can recognize them.
We'll see cooler temperatures, rain, and maybe even some strong storms. We'll talk all about it.
Tune in every Wednesday morning during News Center 25 at sunrise to get the latest health, beauty, and wellness guidance from our local expert, Dr. Nee Lay, designed to keep your body healthy and your mind aware of the latest technologies and treatments for a healthier you.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, a principled conservative fighting for Texas. Recognized as a leader on border security and being tough on crime, he's supported by law enforcement statewide. He's increased education funding at record levels with the biggest teacher pay raise in years.
I'm Dan Patrick. Texas is the greatest place to live, work, and raise a family. Join me in fighting radical liberals who would turn Texas into California. I ask for your vote.
Your hand was bleeding at that point.
It was profusely bleeding. My dog was profusely bleeding.
She couldn't believe her pit bull was capable.
What did she say?
My dog would never hurt anybody.
And her perspective differed in other ways.
Did you see any blood?
From his dog, yes, but not from him. He was cradling my dog like a baby.
You said the dog was tethered to a tree.
Yes.
That was a lie.
Next, Judge Judy.
This holiday season, let us do the cooking at Ventura's Tamales. Whether it's just the starters and sides or the entire meal, unwrap the flavor with Ventura's Tamales. From our chips and queso to start, the enchilada casserole for the main course, or just our rice and beans that pair perfectly with any plate, don't stress with the best of the best. And don't forget the tamales. Ventura's Tamales, located at 3907 North Navarro Street in Victoria. Unwrap the flavor.
This is your vote. It's your right. One of these 7 IDs you'll need to show when you arrive at the polling site. If you're eligible to mail in your vote, on your ballot envelope, the number of one of these IDs you'll need to note. And this is the website where you'll find more insight to be able to cast the vote that is your right. Brought to you by the Texas Secretary of State.
Well, starting queer, beautiful night out there. Yeah, we're taking on that cloud cover, moisture moving in from the Gulf. And we also have moisture pushing in from the northwest as a boundary is slowly heading our way. But earlier today, you wouldn't think so. Look at this. 91 degrees back in 1926, 96 degrees, almost 10 degrees above average today. Nothing in the way of rainfall earlier, but we're starting to see a few scattered showers. Now, here's a look at our temperatures. Here's what we have. So 91 earlier, still pretty much in the 80s on the coast. You move inland, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Now, dew points, okay, on the high side. Now you move inland, still into the 70s. We're going to see these go up a little bit because that boundary is going to push in. We're going to see moisture, but then as the boundary clears, just like a few days ago, it's going to wring out a lot of the moisture in the area. These dew points, these temps will go down. The dew point temps as well as the ambient temperatures after frontal passage, after the boundary pushes through. Here's what we got. About a couple hours ago, we were seeing 28, 35 mile per hour wind gusts throughout a good portion of the viewing area. It's starting to relax a little bit, but as the boundary then starts to get closer tomorrow, we'll see these winds pick up again. We can still see 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. So this is what we are working with right now. Now we're seeing some scattered showers. I had the radar up a little bit ago. Few areas seeing some scattered showers. Other locations staying completely dry as this moisture pushes in and along the sea breeze getting a little bit of a lift. But as the energy from the sun's gone down, sea breeze not as active, not as strong. But this is what we're looking at now. This boundary headed our way on Monday. Now we could start to see some strong storms later in the afternoon on Monday and overnight Monday into Tuesday. Yeah, potential severe weather that could carry into Tuesday. When I say severe weather, yeah, maybe 50 plus or 60 mile per hour winds, large hail, and some showers. Now the boundary is going to move through rather quickly, so if we do get rain, I'm not looking at a huge total by any means. I think it's going to move through quick enough that we'll see scattered showers. But yeah, rain rates could be heavy for the time period that the boundary does push through the area. And then after frontal passage or after the cold front and the boundary drags through the crossroads, continues on its way away from South Texas, the cooler air is going to move in. Now, it's not going to impact us temperature-wise like last week's because we saw record lows into the 40s. I'm expecting 50s and 70s for highs then we'll start to warm up. But then, roller coaster ride, we can see another boundary push in, bringing us some more showers and cooler weather. Again, here's our future tracker. So, and we are seeing some scattered showers as the moisture pushes in from the Gulf. But here's the boundary pushing in Monday, Tuesday, boom. But you see how quickly it went through. So not looking at that much rain, but it can be strong for the period of time that it does push through the area. And here, then we dry off with frontal passage. Marine forecast, water-wise, right around 77. Base choppy seas, though, occasionally up to 9. That small craft advisory. Be very careful out there. 74 overnight. Could still see a few scattered showers. 82 degrees, 40% chance of rain as the afternoon moves along. Overnight, though, and into Tuesday, yeah, we're going to get some strong storms potentially, but then we start to dry off with frontal passage, and as the week moves along, looking pretty good. That's Cuero. Now we go back on the coast into Port Lavaca. Here we go. We got some rain that looks to linger along the coast. There's that boundary pushes away. Then back here in Victoria, yeah, we got some showers. We got an alert day for Tuesday. That could be strong to severe weather. Possible alert on Friday. Yeah, we get strong disruptive rain. That could really be a factor with your plans later in the day. And then look at that. We do cool down later on in the week. For more weather news and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. Now we go to sports with Zach.
Sounds like a busy day in weather and a busy day in sports. The Cowboys took on the Lions, and Dak Prescott made his return. That coming up in sports.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Choose in stock or custom order your F-150 and lock in $3,900 for $60 plus $500 cash plus complimentary maintenance. See your Ford dealer.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Victoria Preservation Cemetery Tour is a unique cultural event. Travel through bygone eras and relive history told by those who lived it. Individuals portrayed are real people from Victoria's past, not fictional characters. Evergreen Elegy will be held at Evergreen Cemetery on October 28th and 29th. For information, contact the VPI office at 361-573-1878. Thanks to the Victoria Television Group for their sponsorship.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sean Hamilton with Victoria Vein and Surgery Clinic. If you suffer from leg ache, cramping, swelling, bulging, or spider veins, we have solutions. Victoria Vein and Surgery Clinic is proud to offer our patients advanced, minimally invasive treatments for their varicose vein disease. My team and I have been providing state-of-the-art vein care to the Crossroads region for 15 years. We perform all procedures in our office with minimal downtime. Call today to schedule an evaluation and experience the many benefits that vein care can provide.
The 2023 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Good evening, Crossroads. An action-packed college football Saturday starting with the Texas Longhorns and Longhorn fans. How did it get away? It was all Texas early on, but Oklahoma State would come roaring all the way back. At one point, they were down by as much as 14 in this game. A play later on in the game, a poor job of tackling with the game tied at 34, allowing Oklahoma State to score. They'd go up 41-34, and that would be the final score. Gut-wrenching game in that tight Big 12 race. Speaking of Big 12 race, the leader of that conference, number 7 TCU, taking on Kansas State. And after striking first, TCU getting slaughtered at home, but they would come marching back, cutting into the deficit just before the half. TCU's defense really turning it on, keeping them in that game and giving them a chance, and they would capitalize. Kansas State scored 28 in the first half, but they could not score again. TCU is victorious. And this is going to sound a little strange to a lot of us, but the 6th ranked Alabama Crimson Tide took on number 24 Mississippi State this game after being upset by Tennessee. Bryce Young showing you here why he could be the number 1 pick in next year's draft, scrambling and firing a strike to get the scoring started. Alabama's defense would take it from there, not allowing a score until the very last play of the game. Roll Tide victorious 30-6. Other scores around the college area, the University of Houston beating Navy, Texas A&M. They're not doing too well. I'm sure they can't wait for Shiner's own Dalton Brooks next year. They need the help. And after starting white hot, Kansas now 5-3, falling to Baylor. And Darius McCormick's Southern Miss Golden Eagles beat Gino Perez's Texas State Bobcats. Well, Bailey Zappi has been under center for the New England Patriots for the last few weeks, becoming the first rookie QB to win his first 2 starts and have a quarterback rating of 100 or higher. That could change tomorrow. No official word just yet, but Mac Jones is the expected starter over Zappi. We will keep you updated on that situation. And how about them Cowboys? Dak Prescott says, what quarterback controversy? Dallas pulled away late against the Detroit Lions this afternoon. Maybe a little rust at first, but Dak Prescott, first touchdown pass of the year. Pretty good day at the office. 19 of 25 for 207. Like I said, the 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. Cowboy Nation, is your love affair with Cooper Rush over just yet? As we mentioned, Dak Prescott with a solid, not great game, maybe still shaking off some rust. So here's your viewer poll. Are you pleased with Dak Prescott's return? Yes or no? We want to hear from you now, taking it from the gridiron to the baseball diamond. Phillies, Padres, Game 5. Philadelphia looking to secure the pennant in the National League. They won a wild one yesterday, but how's this for wild? Down 1 in the 9th, Bryce Harper unloads and gives Philly the lead. Talk about clutch. That would be all for the scoring. Philly looking to win their first title since 08 when closer Brad Lidge was perfect for them. Astros fans remember that name very well. And speaking of perfect and the Astros, they have yet to have lost a postseason game thus far. The game slightly delayed, starting almost an hour and a half later. New York looking for a miracle. Houston looking to advance to yet another World Series. Down 3-0. Jeremy Pena, a bad man. The rookie ties it with a 3-run homer. Later in the game, the Astros would have a 4-3 lead. Bert Rizzo would tie it at 4. Jordan, with the Astros down 5-4, ties it now in the 7th inning. We currently sit at 5 apiece. Adam, this Astros game is tightly competitive. I know a lot of Houston fans are they're very nervous, anxiously waiting the results of this one to maybe face the Phillies in the World Series.
Yep, it's heating up out there. Coming up, the force is strong with a Northern California bakery.
It's high school football season. If you're headed to the game, we want to see your best photos. You can win big by submitting your photos to Crossroads today. Your photo can be the next one to be showcased on Crossroads Football Live. Each winner gets a $25 Dickey's Barbecue gift certificate and a 2022 CFL t-shirt. Go to crossroadstoday.com/CFL Hall of Fame Sweepstakes and submit your photos. So pull out your cameras or phones and show us your team spirit.
Border security, energy independence, fiscal responsibility. Vote Republican. Calhoun County Republican Party responsible for the content of this message.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory Buick GMC.
Some may have thought this baker duo would have had a hard time creating a life-size sculpture of Han Solo out of bread, but they pretty much said, never tell me the odds. The mother-daughter bakery co-owner spent weeks creating this 6-foot replica of Solo frozen in carbonite as he appeared in The Empire Strikes Back. And this bakery is in California. Wow, that doesn't even look like bread, Howie, but I know Howie's kind of the Star Wars buff, so I'm sure he knows.
I actually have a Han Solo doll that I meant to bring in today to put on my desk.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, perfect time. That was really cool. I could eat the whole thing. I'm a huge fan of bread. But awesome, awesome work out there. One last look at weather. Thanks, Adam. 77 for water. Small craft advisory, seas occasionally up to 9, so be very careful on the water. 74 overnight. Could see some scattered showers. Then tomorrow, 82. Yeah, 40% chance as that boundary moves closer. And really quick, we have an alert day for tomorrow. Could have strong to severe weather, and then maybe even strong storms on Friday. Adam?
All righty. Thank you, Howie. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you'll join us for Sunrise. Have a good night.